Hello Split Coast friends, I'm Franz Martin at FrenchieStamps.com. Today I'm going to share with you how to do frosted trees. Very so pretty. So let's get started. First thing we want to do, this one here, I should point this out. This one I did like the sun when it want to come up in the morning, but you still have that big frost. So if you're up north, big morning cold, you know what I'm talking about. We're going to start on a piece of cardstock. I'm using Pool Party that measured 3.5 by 4.25. If you want the sunrise there, you're gonna use Post-it note, the 1-inch circle punch it out, decide where you want to have your sunrise, put that there. Now you're gonna use shimmer paint. I'm using the Frost White, and I'm using a clear envelope. So if you get a piece of plastic saran wrap, put a few drops of shimmer paint. In this case, I put quite a bit there. I'm going to be honest, I started the video without starting the video, so now I'm starting again. So I'm using a sponge. It looked like I get ink on that. It's just a sponge that's been washed. That's it. Now you're just going to tap your, you want to not have too much, but enough. You're going to tap your sun here in your opening. Now you're going to have to let this dry. So let's remove this. Now you can see here, oops, get a little smear there. We can cover that up. It was not equally tapped. That's okay. Come right back. Much better. Now you can see I get my sun. We're going to let that dry. Magic of the camera here. We're going to take a Post-it note, what we punch in the center there, and now we're going to cover the one that you put the shimmer paint. You're going to use Pool Party ink also with a sponge dauber, and oops, sponge just around, so it's a little bit darker there on the outside. So I'm just going to swirl this a little bit here. So it's really bring that sun that it's trying to peak on the cold morning there. We're going to remove that, et voila. I bet you can see the difference there. Now let's the fun begin. For this one, I'm using the Sheltering Tree stamp set. I'm going to decide where I want the tree. I'm going to put that right at the corner. I'm going to bring this, put that there, and decide where you want your tree. And I'm using the Stamparatus here. That would be a position for stamp, would be great deal for this. This one over here that I shared, that was the winter wood. Now, first thing, we're going to use Night of Navy stamp, ink pad, and we're going to stamp our tree in Night of Navy. Stamp that right here. Et voila. And now we're gonna have to wash. This is very important that you wash your stamp before the next step, because if not, it's gonna get all kind of bluish. Okay, what I done, it's not a must, but I think it make a little different. I just move it like a tiny little bit, so the frost, it's more on one side. Now you're going to take the same sponge, use the shimmer paint. You're going to tap this here. Let me move a little bit here. See, I just used my shimmer paint. Tap, tap. And you're going to sponge this on your stamp. And then we're going to close this. And I bet you saw I get some on my window there. That it's okay. You can clean all that with rinsing under warm water. Same in your stamp. Make sure that soon you're done, you go rinse that under clear water. I need a little bit more here. So let me go back here. I'm going to put another drop or two here. Here we go. Then let's and then let's stamp this again. And you want to do this till you, oh, now it's very, very lovely. Very much. A little bit maybe on the trunk there. Here we go. Really, it's the branch that you want more. Perfect. So now that this is done, let's remove this. And now I bet you can see all that pretty frost. Now for the snowflake, what I use, I didn't want big snowflake. I wanted tiny, tiny little snowflakes. So I'm using the Still Night, those little dots. So if you get a stamp set with tiny little dots, that work lovely. First thing that I done though, before I done this, I use a sponge dauber with Night of Navy, and I just sponge all around. It's not a must. It's not for this technique. It's just give a little bit more depth to this cardstock over here. So after this is done, now we're going to do the snowflakes in the shimmer white too. So with shimmer paint, you can use that for stamping instead of ink. So again, we get that right here. I'm going to take my stamp, and now I'm just going to, on my clear envelope, and then I'm going to do my stamping. So just like that little frost coming down. It's not really snowflake. That's why I didn't want the snowflake. I just wanted that it's kind of a mist frost coming down. Okay, now that I got that, I use the same sponge, and we're going to do the snow at the bottom here, like the ground. So I just go sideways. Go sideways, and then you can add a little bit more. Around the tree here, put a little bit more heavy. Et voila. Now I'm going to have to let this dry and then mount that on my card base. And this is it for the frosted tree. I try with soft suede. I think the blue gives more the winter look. So here is both card finish with the winter wood and then the sheltering tree. This is it for me today. Have a lovely day, and thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye for now.